All right, ladies and gentlemen, MrSotko here. Welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk about the brand new ant miner, the F3. It is an Ethereum miner and why it's going to kill GPU mining for all of us. So I have some news articles here for you. I'm going to talk about a couple, and then I'm going to go into some other news, but you're here for probably one reason, the title of the video, so we'll talk about that first. So first and foremost, Wall Street firm Susquehanna has changed the rating of semiconductor firm AMD from neutral to negative and lowered the price forecast for shares in GPU processing manufacturer NVIDIA, citing the rising competition from Bitmain's Ethereum mining ASICs, which will be coming out soon. There's no real date for that. It's going to be called the F3. So Susquehanna analyst Christopher Rowland told clients on a note that Bitmain will be shipping an ASIC miner for Ethereum starting in the second quarter of 2018, so around the summer, adding that although Bitmain is likely to be the largest ASIC vendor and the first to market this product, we have learned of that at least 3 other companies are working on Ethereum ASICs as well. So they lowered the price of shares of AMD from $13 to $7.50, and from NVIDIA from $215 to $200 a share. So now here's a pretty good article on the Bitmain Ethereum F3 miner, and then after this I will tell you guys why it's going to affect you and why all of our GPU mining rigs for Ethereum are going to be not worthless, but are going to be somewhat obsolete, if you will. So in a time when cryptocurrencies are becoming more mainstream and a more lucrative form of income for individuals all around the world, it's no surprise that technology continues to advance at a lightning-fast rate. For several of us, our journey started in the cryptocurrency space in the form of mining. Some of us started with GPUs and continued on as technology advanced and ASICs were developed. In an effort to curb this trend, newer cryptocurrencies that were supposedly ASIC resistant were developed. Bitmain has been consistently in the lead of ASIC development and ahead of all competition when it came to price versus hash rate, faster to market than any other manufacturer to date. So Bitmain is the ant miner, if you will. So the Litecoin script miner, the ant miner S9, that sort of thing. So a new rumor has it that Bitmain will soon launch a new piece of hardware for electronic currency mining on a new platform that would be GPU-based to mine Ethereum. Currently, Ethereum miners are buildable rigs equipped with several GPUs to mine the Ethereum currency. This has made the cost of GPUs skyrocket and has impacted the overall availability and most gaming GPUs. This may soon be an issue of the past. Ethereum, or was designed to be ASIC proof. However, Charlie Lee said it best. I think ASICs are inevitable when the coin is valuable, but that's not a bad thing. Yes, it is, Charlie Lee, because you don't mind. So, unfortunately, I'm going to have to disagree with that. According to the Chinese website Tech News, Bitmain is about to release an Ethereum ASIC miner tentatively identified as the Antminer F3. The rumored release date is Q2 or Q3 of 2018, which puts its release within the next few months. This comes at a time when Ethereum is speculated to switch to POS eventually, which is proof of stake, with Ethereum 2.0, but that's probably not anytime soon. The last time I heard that was many months ago, and it was supposed to be a few years out. So we'll see how soon that comes out. With the price and market cap of Ethereum speculated to overcome Bitcoin this year, I assume that this is Bitcoin's move to get in quick and make a ton of money before the switch to POS happens and the price begins to skyrocket to the moon. So this is basically Antminer destroying the market once again. They tried to release the Monero miner, and Monero, the developers, are going to release in either the end of this month or sometime in April a fork that will upgrade the network, and then that miner will no longer be able to mine Monero with Kryptonite. So basically, ASIC, the ant miner and Bitmain, the company, is probably already mining Ethereum and causing the difficulty to skyrocket, just like they did with the Kryptonite miners, how they mined them clandestinely for several months before they even began to announce that they had these miners. And coincidentally and conveniently, they announced these miners and sold them for an inordinate price and then subsequently lowered the price when everybody figured out that this miner isn't going to work on Kryptonite, or rather Monero anyway. So most Kryptonite algorithm coins are, quite frankly, shitcoins, aside from Monero. So the rumored specs of the F3 Ethereum miner indicates that every miner is mounted with 3 main boards. Each main board will have 6 ASIC processors, each of which has 32 1 gigabyte DDR3 memory chips. So supposedly 66 gigabytes. I have heard that it's going to be like 72 gigabytes of DDR3. So nobody really knows the exact amount, but it's going to be somewhere between 60 to maybe 80 gigabytes of RAM for these because of the DAG file required for Ethereum mining. This makes for a very powerful miner, and with the low power consumption expected from Bitmain products, would essentially put all other homemade GPU mining rigs out of business. Whether the rumors are true or not, which they're all over the internet at this point, so it's looking pretty true. It has been reported that Bitmain has been meeting with various plants and manufacturers in Taiwan to determine whether the needed amount of chips can be produced at the capacity that Bitmain is looking for. In a time where GPUs are in high demand and production is constantly struggling to meet demand, it might be a tall order. The DRAM memory demand that these plants need to fulfill for Bitmain is around 3,000 pieces of 12-inch wafers per month. It's expected that the Ethereum ASIC chips will begin production sometime this month. Previous rumors speculated that the ASICs could reach 200 to 220 megahash per second, but with the current specs, the hash rate could possibly be even more. I've heard 600 to 700 megahash, so about 200 or 220 megahash is approximately $7 a day, $8 a day of Ethereum, and that's with the down market right now. So if this was a few months ago, that would probably be more like $16, $24 a month, somewhere around there. However, at 600 or 700 megahash, like I've seen on some other articles, then you could just essentially times that by 3. So it could be upwards of $24 to, $40 a day, somewhere around there. And that's with the down market. So when prices go back up, you could be looking at 50, 60, 80 plus dollars a day with this Ethereum miner, which is all set and good. That sounds great. And at a much lower power rating than what you might require to mine with your mining rig currently, your Ethereum rig. So your Ethereum rig now probably has 6, 10, I've seen 12 graphics cards or more in an Ethereum rig, and powered by multiple power supplies. So late last year, it was speculated that the miner could come in 2 flavors, one with a power supply and one without. However, I assume Bitmain will follow its current trend of the shipping the miner with a separate power supply as individual products that you also have to buy. So that's the way it is now, that you have to buy the power supply alongside of it. So, I've heard that this miner could take anywhere from 600 to maybe 800 watts of power, which is nothing. Completely nothing compared to what your mining rig is now. You might have to have a 1200 or even a 2000 watt power supply to power 8, 10, 12 of your cards. Maybe even 2 1000 watt power supplies or 2 1200 power supplies, whatever you may be running. Just think about that. That's a lot of power. I mean, we're talking anywhere from 2000, 2400 or more wattage for this to gain the equal amount that this ASIC could provide you. So when it comes to price, expect the miner to fall in the range of 2500 to 3000 is the typical range Bitmain tends to follow. Although I kind of disagree with that because sometimes they come out and they're 4,000. The latest Kryptonite miner initially came out as 12,000, and then the second batch was like 7,600, I believe. And then when everybody called them out for being basically a fraud because they were clearly mining this and raised the Monero difficulty by 65%, and then announced that they would sell them just before Monero developers announced that they would hard fork to prevent this ASIC. So they basically wanted to dump them off on us, and as a $12,000 paperweight, people did not like that price, and they subsequently lowered it drastically. So Bitmain is well known for getting in at the right time and helping to boost the value of a currency by releasing miners for a currency that has a growing demand. The company is well known for doing whatever it can as early as it can to grab a piece of the market. If the hype is true, it will be one of the first in line to try and get my hands on a couple of these miners. I would not do that because it's not particularly hard for a developer to change the algorithm of their coin, or not necessarily change the algorithm, but hard fork it. So it's the same coin, but they just forked it just a little bit. So as a network upgrade to prevent the ASICs, so the Vitaly Buterin, or whatever his name is, Vitalik, I can never remember his name. I pronounce it wrong every single time for some reason. Would likely try to prevent this, or again, eventually, he's going to make Ethereum 2.0, which is going to be a proof-of-stake coin. So this isn't good. The reason why it's not good is because this machine, when it comes out, and if not already being ran in Bitmain's probably secret warehouses somewhere, already running just like their Kryptonite miners and probably everyone before that, then they ship them out after they've juiced the coin up quite a bit and the difficulty jacked it all up. Then they ship them out, so you get yourself a nice used miner that has already been run for probably 2 or 3 months, mining this coin clandestinely and secretively, if you will, and then they ship you out a nice used miner so that you get your piece of the pie when the price of the coin goes way, way down, because, or rather the difficulty goes up and therefore you mine less and therefore your profit is less. So what's going to happen when these come out is that these are going to blow mining rigs out of the water. I don't care what rig you have or what you think you are running, whether you got 200, 300, 400, 600 mega hash, these are going to annihilate your rig. And even if you have a seriously powerful rig where you're getting upwards of 1 gigahash for 1 or 2 or 3 of your rigs, each one of these could be 600 or more mega hash on Ethereum, and that just blows most people's out of the water. I mean, most people might be running 3 or 4 or 5 cards or something like that in a rig, you know, some kind of modest rig that they can afford, and it's going to blow them out of the water. It's going to seriously raise the difficulty of Ethereum. Therefore, you're going to get significantly less shares. In the same way that you cannot mine Litecoin or Bitcoin with your processor or your GPU anymore, while you physically can, you get virtually nothing, because ASICs have completely dominated the market and has raised the Bitcoin difficulty so much that your GPU doesn't stand a chance. It's the exact reason why when you mine with, say, NiceHash, you mine altcoins and then get those altcoins and paid in Bitcoin. Or the same reason why you may be mining, let's say, something like Vertcoin or Verge, and then you take your Verge and you transmute it into or exchange it for Bitcoin, because you're making way more mining Verge with your GPU or Vertcoin or something like that, and then actually selling it and getting yourself Bitcoin or whatever else you prefer. So mining these ASIC coins that have become ASIC coins, rather, if you will, is futile. So this is really bad for the market for Ethereum. So I'm hoping that Ethereum hard forks their coin in just a really simple way that prevents and bricks this miner. I would not buy this miner. You would, if I got this miner free, sure, I'd run it, but I would not buy this miner. It will be profitable for a very short period of time, and then essentially you will just be contributing to the death of GPU miners everywhere. So moving on from that, let's talk about the waiting game. Why Coinbase won't soon add cryptos, or soon add new cryptos anytime soon. Oh my, I messed that all up. That's okay though. Supporting new crypto assets may be a top priority for Coinbase, but any such additions to its order books might not be close on the horizon. According to Coinbase General Manager Dan Romero, the San Francisco-based exchange wants to add several new cryptocurrencies in line with customer feedback, but is treating cautiously as U.S. regulators deliberate on how they might treat certain uses of the technology. The reality of the regulatory situation keeps us from going and doing that right away. Specifically, Romero mentioned the Securities and Exchange Commission, which is rumored to have dozens of investigators ongoing concerning initial coin offerings. That's why you don't ever see an ICO that is American. Fundraising efforts that involve the creation of custom cryptocurrencies, while speculation is ongoing about the nature of the investigations. The regulator seems to be gathering information in an effort to make a ruling on when a crypto token is a security, which doesn't make sense to me because they already have securities on Coinbase, so why is adding a new one a difficult thing? I really think they're just trying to save face right now because of the whole Bitcoin Cash fiasco when they released it 10 days early out of nowhere, completely ninja released it, if you will. Which caused a really bad situation, basically jacked the price up of Bitcoin Cash to a brief $9,000 or something like that. So basically people bought this at $8,000 and then started suing them because they couldn't sell it. Which has since been fixed, but it was not good. But since Coinbase is not a licensed broker, at least not yet, it cannot trade instruments that qualify as securities. And how can it trade coins at the moment? And why can't it add additional coins? Aren't those securities, or are they not securities? So if they are securities, they can't be trading at all. They should be shut down. Not that I want them to be shut down, of course not. But and if they're not securities, then why can't they add more? So this isn't really saying much of anything. Why Coinbase is not adding new things? The only reason I can figure is that, one, they've already been slow to do that for a long time since their inception. And two, I think they're trying to save face on the whole Bitcoin Cash and insider trading fiasco, and they're afraid to release a new coin, as to save a litigious action against them in case they release it in a terrifyingly bad way like they did Bitcoin Cash. So Twitter does confirm ban on cryptocurrency ad. Twitter Inc. will start banning cryptocurrency advertising effective Tuesday. Reuters reports March 26. Twitter has confirmed rumors that the social media giant would follow Facebook and Google in damping down on crypto-related advertising. So just more of the man coming after the crypto world and slowly destroying it one little bit at a time. Just as I said before in some previous videos, just because crypto is decentralized does not mean that there aren't forces acting against it. And that forces acting against it can't have an effect on it. There are plenty of things that the greater shadow, whatever you might want to call it, is working against cryptocurrency. There's no doubt about it when it comes to regulations, laws, the NSA supposedly spying on the Bitcoin ledger. When it comes to media giants like Facebook and Google, banning them has a serious impact on cryptocurrency. So Twitter told Reuters that the ban will cover advertising for initial coin offerings and token sales. The policy will be introduced over the course of the next 30 days. It will also include bans on cryptocurrency exchanges and wallet services unless they are public companies and are listed on major stock exchanges. So Twitter said it will limit advertisement for crypto exchanges in Japan to those under the purview of the National Financial Regulator. So they're fine with listing things that are on major stock exchanges, but if it's not on major stock exchanges, no. So you could see how that works, right? You guys get it. So moving on. Announcement on LightPay. So this isn't good. LightPay, if you don't know what that was, it came out, let's go with a couple months ago. And it was supposedly a pretty good feature, and I was actually pretty excited about it. So LightPay was designed so that you could essentially load coin on a prepaid kind of debit card sort of situation. And then you could go to a business, and when you swipe your card, you pay in Litecoin. Let's say you have $50 in Litecoin on your card, and you have a $50 purchase, and so you swipe your card. Now, the other person on the other end, the business owner, might not want Litecoin. Maybe they don't want cryptocurrency, and that's fine. However, this LightPay app was supposedly supposed to instantly convert your Litecoin into fiat so that the other person on the other side receiving that money received fiat and not Litecoin. And I thought that was a great idea, so that everybody, that wanted fiat could get their way, and everybody that wanted to pay in crypto could get their way. Win-win. Absolutely great. It also had some more features. So we wanted to inform you that a couple days ago, the Litecoin Foundation was contacted by Kenneth Asair, CEO of LightPay, informing us that he has ceased all operation as preparing to sell the company. Prior to that, the foundation had approached Kenneth regarding his less than transparent nature with the company and to express our and the community's concerns regarding his recent Reddit AMA. It was at this time that Kenneth asked the foundation for more funds to continue operations. The foundation refused any further funding as he was unable to provide a satisfactory picture of where the money had been spent, and refused to go into exact details about the company and show objective evidence to back up his statements. We are greatly disheartened that this saga has ended this way, and we apologize for not doing enough due diligence that could have uncovered some of these issues earlier. We are currently working hard to tighten our due diligence practices and ensure that this does not happen again. Litecoin was doing perfectly fine before the promise of LightPay and will continue to do so. The ecosystem is far bigger than one company and is continually growing with support from many others, with market-ready products joining the space and fulfilling their promises to make it easier for the world to use Litecoin. In the end, this is a valuable lesson for us to have learned. Litecoin in our community is as strong as it ever has been, and we look forward to the many great things to come. Thank you for your continuous support. So LightPay is aus. And the final thing of the day here on Coinbase Twitter. So adding ERC20 support to Coinbase. We're excited to announce our intention to support the Ethereum ERC20 technical standard for Coinbase in the coming months. This paves the way for supporting ERC20 assets across Coinbase products in the future. Though we aren't announcing support for any specific assets or futures at this moment, we are announcing this both internally and to the public as consistent with our process for adding new assets. Although, I don't know, it's very consistent with your process for adding new assets when you just ninja release Bitcoin Cash 10 days early, and the price was all the way up just before that happened. Gee, I wonder how that occurred. But whatever. I use Coinbase and GDAX, so it's a good service. They messed up Bitcoin Cash. Nobody has any evidence if it was insider trading or not, but I don't know. The service works just fine for me, and I do like the fact that there are no limit fees or no fees for limit buy and selling, so that's pretty awesome. So you can make these little tiny trades and no matter what make money and never have to pay a fee, so that's pretty cool. So the ERC20 is a technical standard used for Ethereum smart contracts. ERC20 assets have become a popular way for teams to quickly build interoperable contracts and assets. More recently, our Ethereum wallet and dApp browser Toshi added native support for ERC20. So excellent. That is a way of the future, if you will. It's a step in the right direction. And I know that that GDAX is not the only one that has free buying and selling for limit orders. I know that the Robinhood app is essentially free. However, they do hold some of your coins as assets, so you can't trade all of your coins. So that's something that I don't particularly care for. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure we try to stay away from Ethereum ASIC miners because it's going to essentially destroy one of the biggest mining operations in the world, which is GPUs. It's going to outpace them within months. What am I kidding? Who am I kidding? Within weeks, as soon as people get these and start plugging them in. And, you know, there are whales out there that buy 10, 20, 30 of these at a time and plug them in a warehouse, and that's going to instantly jack up huge jacked up difficulty of Ethereum, and then all of us will receive less profit for our GPU miners. But hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys next time.